They just can't stop fucking creators, can they? Well, I woke up today thinking I was a failure at life because I was losing patrons. I think I'm up to 3 now that have dropped today, but I anticipate that this may go up. Not to mention the fact that it may dissuade people from contributing in the future. So what happened? Everybody wants to know how they fucked us. Well, Patron decided to give creators a 5% raise. Yay! So I'm going to make 5% more, in theory. Except that you're pissing off a lot of, contributors by upping what they pay, and then they're thereby canceling. So I'm losing money. But I got a raise, so I should be happy, right? Some brilliant fucking bean counter decided to give creators a 5% raise in their cut of the money that, supposedly the money, but then they're going to charge extra on top of your contribution to the tune of 2.9% plus 35 cents, which, depending on the size of your contribution, like if you contribute 20 a month or 50 a month, it's really not going to make a huge difference. I mean, yeah, you'll feel a few extra dollars in there, which can dissuade some people who don't want to pay more than the average Netflix experience for their content. And a lot of them are in the $5 and $1 tiers who are really getting fucked. You're racking them another 30%. So you're giving me a 5% raise, and then you're racking everyone else anywhere from 8 to 30% in fees, essentially giving Patreon a raise. But we care about creators and shit. Whoever came up with this brilliant idea thought that they would just slide it in, so that you wouldn't notice you were being penetrated. But you would welcome it. They'd be telling you all this positive feedback. You should be happy. We're doing the creators a solid here. You're contributing anyway, so let's give the creators a raise. And if they were honest about it, they would just have kept it. Maybe even just took a little bit more out of our fees, which are already anywhere from 5 to 15%, depending on the size of your income. The bigger the income, the bigger the percentage they take. I have acknowledged that Patreon has to make money. They are a business. They are providing a service. The service that it's a convenient location for people to support independent creators, artists, YouTubers, musicians, so on and so forth. However, what do we get for that besides a platform with which to plaster our content on and with which to send the subscribers and people contributing? We're out here marketing for that. I've seen no efforts on Patreon. I've Googled. I don't see any promotion of any of the posts that I do. We're allowed 5 keywords in that, and I imagine further on down the line I do eventually find my Patreon page if I were to do a search. But comparatively speaking versus what YouTube does for us, which is a search algorithm that puts eyes onto our content, that gets people to see that we posted, that brings in new subscribers, that builds. And this is why I am okay with YouTube taking the cut, which is a little heavy-handed, that they do, because they are marketing. Marketing has tons of value, and most YouTubers have built a career off of YouTube's marketing. So when YouTube takes their almost half of revenue from ads and almost half of revenue from Super Chat, and they take a huge chunk, but they're also doing work that I don't have to do, and that is marketing. They also cover my research a lot of the times, but with their algorithm, like if there's something I want to know more about, or I want to know what's trending in health and fitness and what's trending in lifestyle and minimalism, I know that I can find something that'll point me in the direction of the studies I need to read, of the articles that are out there that are non-biased. And, that's usually where I start my research point, is I'll look and see what's already on YouTube. And a lot of them post links in their description to the stuff that they're citing, that they're quoting, or that inspired them to make that video. And then I go and read that. And that's kind of my process. So YouTube has been invaluable for the money they take. They are part of the equation for running the YouTube channel and doing this for a living. Patreon's kind of a different animal. They're not providing a whole lot of value. They're essentially a billing site for me. They, take people who want to contribute. They take their fees from me, which is what they've been doing this whole time. You could submit $1, I get like 80 cents or something like that. It's to that tune. And in exchange, I don't have to run a website, which costs $230 to $250 a year. I have one. I haven't utilized it. I was planning on spinning it up. I might have to speed up those plans now that Patreon's being stupid. But, it saves me from having to do that. It saves me from having to spend time updating that website. I can blog, I can do posts, I can share videos, I can share live stream. Everything that Patreon does for me, I can do with my own fucking website. And the only reason I do it through Patreon is so I do not have to spend excessive shit tons of time. Essentially, their fee is so that I don't have to do these things, because I'm a one-man band, and the more time I spend doing admin, the more time I spend doing, non-related channel things, the less time I have to produce content and fucking videos. So, for those of you who are dropping like flies off of the lower tiers mainly of Patreon, and I know you're doing it probably because you're contributing to more than one patron, and that 30% starts to add up. If you're giving $1 to me, and $1 to Philip DeFranco, and $1 to whoever the fuck else you watch, after a while, and you maybe only have $10 allotted a month that you want to contribute to people, after a while, that 30 cents, 35 cents on the dollar is going to fucking pinch you a little. You're starting to be beyond Netflix right now, which, if you have to choose between paying $20 for YouTube content and $10 for Netflix content, a lot of people are going to choose the Netflix content. This is something that the bean counters didn't take into account when they were getting a little greedier with shit. Now, I don't know the overhead that Patreon has to pay, but they are not providing a level of service to warrant a pay raise at this point, which they're trying to disguise as, we're not doing this for money, yet when you look at the mathematics of it, the amount of money you're taking in from our contributors, people who are contributing for us, not you, is gone up, and the amount that we get is going down. There's another YouTuber who did the math on this already. If we were to absorb, as Patreon creators, if we were to absorb the fees that you are now charging users, if we in fact lowered our tier prices so that our patrons did not see a difference, we would essentially be taking a pay cut. We would be making less money than we already do paying the fees to you directly. Not to mention, you have taken away our ability to opt out of this. I would be happy staying right where we're at. It's bad enough that some countries that want to contribute have the value added tax, and I've lost patrons simply because they didn't want to pay $8 on top of their contribution. And you are gouging a crowd that is here to support somebody. They're here to provide their content, and you are just a vehicle like PayPal or any of these other money exchange means that are online. And that is the value of your service. Right now, it would be cheaper for me to just PayPal link everybody and say, if you want to contribute to the channel, here you go. It might even be cheaper for me just to do live streams and hope that I super chat my way through the month. Not a very secure, stable way of making a living, if you ask me. I like the idea of a routine income so that I know at the end of the month I can pay my bills and that I still have time to make videos instead of having to go out to make money to pay my bills doing my other income streams. This is also why I've diversified my fucking income in the process. You know, it's important to not put all your eggs in one basket, and I learned that early on. Patreon makes up less than half of my income from YouTube at the moment, thanks to live streams, thanks to ad revenue not going away for me yet, but I'm not feeling fucking warm and fuzzy about that either. That shit could go any fucking time. Bottom line, what does this mean for you, my subscribers, and my contributors that are helping the channel? First of all, I would say give it a month, because there's a lot of outcry against this, so Patreon could shift their entire fucking thinking. In the meantime, if you feel the need to pull out, I won't be mad at you. I blame Patreon for this. I do not blame any of my contributors. You guys have been supportive of what I've been doing. I have been putting 60, 70 hours a week, even though we're not at the goal where I said I would put 40 hours a week in, because I'm just so blown away by the generosity of people who have both contributed on Patreon and through the super chats on YouTube, and now through mail, which I haven't checked today. I'm going to go check it and see if anything else came. And, you know, so my suggestion, if you want to remain a contributor to the channel, but you are uncomfortable with Patreon sliding one in on you, there are other means I am working on with which you can contribute to the channel. Some of you are also uncomfortable with Super Chat because YouTube's taking a cut. Understand the value of the cut they're taking. First of all, you're discouraging YouTube from screwing creators based solely on whether or not adpocalypses happen. You know, you're giving the ad companies a little less power if YouTube is making money off of that super chat system. And I, like I said, am kind of okay with it. I feel it a little. I feel like they're a little heavy-handed with the amount they take. But they, in turn, have not demonetized me yet, which would be a big factor in my approval or disapproval of YouTube. I do take hits in demonetization for the first 3 or 4 days a video is out. I've been trying to figure out ways to combat that, including going through Patreon, providing the videos as early access with no ads on them, and then streamlining them through. But that's, you know, that's really not offsetting. I still have to wait the 3 days once I do add ads to the video for monetization to kick in there. So I understand completely for those of you who want to contribute, but you don't want to do it through these platforms. So I provided, and the link is in the description, a mailing address. We could go old school with this shit, check our money order made out to my name, and, you know, in the memo, right, for the YouTube channel. And that will be pretty much take all these middlemen the fuck out of it at that point, you know. Although post service will charge you 20 cents or something, 29 cents to mail it, and that's it. You know, that's a hell of a lot better than $4 or $5. So there's that option. I realize that takes a little bit more effort to do because you got to go out and mail it. You got to do all of that, and then you got to remember you know, sent this money and balance it in your checking account or whatever. There's that. I realize that's archaic, but I also realize there are people that are losing faith in this money-grabbing, fee-snubbing system that is the internet for transferring money, for purchases you want to make, for things you want to support. And it's become big business, crowdfunding. And crowdfunding will continue to be a competitive, gouging business, because you got a middleman in an equation. You got somebody who wants to donate to a creator, and you got a creator, and then in the middle they're taking their little cuts. YouTube's doing this, but they've been doing this. We built our platform on it, and I would not be here had not YouTube provided the ability for you to search and find my videos, the ability for you to be watching a video on a similar subject and see a recommended video. And in some cases, I think they even pimp out videos through ads when there are none, just to keep people on the platform. They'll steer you that way. So, YouTube has done its part for the money they take, in my opinion, which is why I haven't pulled up the rails. I do not feel confident in YouTube right now because of the whole demonetization issue, because of the direction they seem to be headed with things. But for now, YouTube is doing its job for the money that they take out of ad revenue and out of Super Chat. Patreon hasn't done shit except bill motherfuckers and give me a place to type blogs and easily distribute the content amongst different tiers. That is not necessarily a requirement, but it does provide stability knowing there is a subscription. They're pretty much a subscription service, and they're taking their cut. That does not equate to the same cut that YouTube's entitled to in my book, because they're not marketing. They're not doing anything positive. In fact, this latest move has had the opposite effect of marketing and is driving contributors away. And Patreon needs to wake the fuck up and realize you're here because we brought people to you. We brought people who wanted to help us, who want to support us, who want us to spend the majority of our time creating content and videos. You are here because of us and our audience equally. You cannot fuck our audience and give us a pat on the back, a smaller pat on the back than with which you are fucking our audience with, and expect us as creators to be happy because we see the immediate results of your stupidity. We immediately start losing people. Now, that's not to say people won't still do it. People will still come in and contribute despite this, as long as they know it is helping us. And it is still helping us. I have not pulled out of Patreon yet. I kind of want to see what happens. At the same time, I will be spinning up other avenues and diversifying the ability of people to contribute or donate to the channel to keep me doing this full time and to keep the content and videos flowing. So quit fucking up, Patreon. By the way, there's links to a couple articles in the description going into detail about the changes. This literally just hit the press today on Friday. I don't know when you're seeing this because my pipeline is usually 1 to 2 days to get a video uploaded. I will probably have this up by the weekend, being that I am busy. I am working a part-time job tonight. And we just got to keep that in mind, all right? Patreon is a middleman in a process that could happen elsewhere, and they need to treat us accordingly. That's it. If you want me to encourage my subscribers to contribute to my channel through your service, I do not want you fucking my subscribers, because you're fucking me too. You're fucking everybody. You're giving it to everybody. You're like, hey, yeah, 8%, 30%, yeah, come on. Oh, don't worry, we gave him 5%. We gave him a little more, but you're good. Yeah, we don't want that. Stop it. Stop being greedy as shit. If you leave it alone, if you would have left it right where it was at, yes, you would have creators still bitching that sometimes we lose 15%. But you don't see creators pulling out or contributors pulling out because of that, do you? And now you're doing this and people are pulling out. This is fucking bullshit, all right? And then, I don't blame the people that are pulling out. This is entirely Patreon's fault. I am very upset with them because I'm trying to make a full-time living doing my channel, and I thought I could rely on them to provide stability in this front where YouTube has been faltering on the stability issue, and a great many creators have gone from YouTube to Patreon to diversify their income streams. Some have even eliminated ad content from their videos, which I don't recommend because it removes you from the search algorithms. You're less likely to be found if you do not monetize your videos. That I know is a fact. And it's, you know, we're trying to make a living doing, you know, this and providing, and the things that I'm providing to people are helping them in their lives. So I do bring value to people's lives with the shit I've been doing. Some would argue that. But I get messages and comments almost on a daily basis from people who are grateful for what I do and want to see me continue to do it and want me to help as many people as I can with the shit that I say, you know, and it's mainly based on my personal experience, my own journey into better health, and my own journey into wellness. And as I focus on minimalism, it really pains me to see a corporate greed action trying to disguise itself as being creator friendly when it is anything but. This, of course, has been my fucking opinion on the subject. I will be getting my website spun up. I already pay for the motherfucker, and as a minimalist, that bothers me because I'm currently not, it's not bringing in new photography clients, so I'm going to be transferring my existing website at some point into a channel website. And on there will be a store and a donation link that you can take most of the, there'll still be like PayPal type middlemen in there. But PayPal has been gouging me on my photography clients for a long time, but I'm okay with it because they provide the service of easily, you know, having an invoice and a bill and a record of a transaction with customers. So I am all about PayPal as far as that convenience is concerned. You can even get the little card readers and swipers as a business nowadays for another fee. And I understand fees in that context. But at the same time, I'm not getting notices from PayPal telling me they're jacking up my prices on a regular basis. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You've pulled in all these people onto Patreon, onto the platform, so that they could make a living doing their creative work, not just YouTube, but other creative works. Some creative works do not bring in a lot, so every dollar counts. Every fucking dollar. There are creators who do their craft full time, pulling in $60 to $100 a month off of Patreon. So they feel every drop. You know, when it happens to me, I know I got to do an extra hour or two of Uber and I'm set. You know, that's because I've set my life up structured in a way so that no one stream is indispensable, to where if I lost one income stream, that I still will be able to survive and sustain my current lifestyle. Which isn't a very, you know, it's not a very ambitious lifestyle that I'm looking for. I'm looking to make anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000 a year and to achieve a lifestyle where that is comfortable and great with me and should technically allow me to not work 70 hours a week. The goal has always been to get 40 hours a week. Ultimately, I'd like to only work 30 hours a week, but I don't think that running this channel is a realistic way of achieving that goal. So I've committed to 40 hours a week as a minimum once the goals of $1,000 a month are met. And that includes YouTube revenue, that includes Super Chat, that includes direct contributions, and that includes Patreon. Those are the 4 streams of income I'm relying on to survive as a current YouTuber. What the fuck? I just realized this light. Fuck. Hey! High budget and shit. It's because fucking Patreon fucked me out of production value there that I didn't even notice. I wonder how long that's been there. I haven't been paying attention. High quality and shit. So, that's where I'm at. I have 4 ways of you pretty much contributing to the channel, from watching ads, from super chat, from mailing me shit, from, you know, Patreon. And I'm about to add a 5th one, which will be website. And I think that should be plenty. There is a 6th one that I've been avoiding, which is pay-to-play content, as in videos that you have to pay like a rental to watch. That has been frowned upon by others, and it's not a stable form of income because you can't guarantee someone's going to pay to watch a video unless the video is something they want to watch. Whereas a contribution is more towards the overarching goal of boosting the channel as a whole, and not, you know, doing the whole carrot and stick with videos to see if we can get you to click shit, which leads to more content favoritism over other content and doesn't expose you to enough variety of content, in my opinion. So I have avoided the pay-per-view video. Eventually, I want all the content I create to go out to everyone. The message is important. It needs to be seen. I need to make a living to take the time to do it. If I can, I can. I'll do the best I can. It might go back to the 1 video a week and back in the truck if I have to, but that is a last resort, and it is nowhere near in sight because I've taken the precautions to diversify my fucking income. And that's what you got to do to survive in the YouTube/online creator landscape, or as a creative in general. In my opinion, your money isn't going to come from a single source if you hope to survive, because if that source turns to shit, and it can happen with YouTube, it can happen with Patreon, it can happen anywhere. You know, it could happen because I start to suck really bad. I know I'm not going to be great forever. Everyone has their ups and downs, and I'm due for a down sooner or later where people just aren't interested in what I have to say anymore or something. I have not taken, you know, I've taken into account all of these things in the way I'm structuring my life. And that would be my advice to creators weathering this storm. Diversify. A lot of the big creators have already done this. They got merchandise, they got marketing teams. They're taking all the functions performed by these, you know, scavenger type setups and doing it themselves, hiring people within their own camp in some cases to handle these things for them. And as a result, they have been able to escape this whole fear of being shut down. So that's it. That's my opinion. I got triggered, so I made this fucking video. Remember, I'm not an expert on this shit. I'm just an asshole doing the best I can out here. I hope everything's good enough. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you think that this is going to kill Patreon as a way of you contributing to the show, if you do contribute, not even just to me, but to anybody, and give your thoughts on this. I'd like to hear from you guys. I'm going to try and have a nice fucking weekend and shit. I do have some work to do this weekend, so it's not a weekend off for me. But I am thankful for those of you who do stick it, you know, through this bullshit with me and continue to keep the channel where it is, or at least, you know, growing, I hope. But this is gonna take a shit on growth a little bit for the channel, I fear. Have a nice motherfucking day and shit. God damn, I can't believe they keep fucking. Why don't they stop fucking with us? This is fucking bullshit. I fucking hate it. Why they gotta be greedy and shit? Just fucking let us alone.